That day, on our way home, we happened to pass by an old garbage dump. The place was always deserted, filled with scattered waste and broken debris. But today, something felt different. From a distance, we heard a faint, weak whimper. We stopped and listened closely, realizing the sound was coming from a corner of the dump. As we approached, what we saw left us speechless: a small, filthy, skinny dog trembling with fear, a bamboo basket tightly stuck over its head. The basket was old and broken in some places, but it was still tightly wrapped around the dog's head, like an invisible trap. We didn't know who had done this or how long the poor pup had been stuck. But one thing was certain: it was terrified. Its eyes were wide with panic, and its legs wobbled as if it had lost all strength. Trying to remove the basket, we carefully tried to pull the basket off, but it was impossible. The bamboo strips were woven too tightly, and there was no way to free the dog with just our hands. The little dog instinctively stepped back, but it seemed to understand that we meant no harm. With no other choice, we decided to take him home. On the way, he kept shivering, but he didn't resist. Perhaps he had already given up after so many days of struggling in vain. Once we got home, we laid him down gently on a soft towel and prepared the tools: a small knife and a pair of scissors. Removing the basket was no easy task. A single careless mistake could hurt him. We had to cut it piece by piece, carefully and gently. Surprisingly, the little dog no longer tried to escape. He lay still, occasionally trembling slightly. It was as if he knew we were trying to help. The moment of freedom, after what felt like forever. Carefully cutting through each bamboo strip, the basket was finally removed. The moment he was freed, the dog looked up at us. His round, shining eyes seemed to hold 1,000 words of gratitude. He hesitantly took a few steps forward, as if he couldn't believe he was truly free. Then suddenly, his tail wagged, just a little. That was the moment that touched us the most. After all those days of suffering, he could finally move freely again. We decided to adopt him and named him Lucky, because today, he truly was lucky. But perhaps, we were also lucky to have found him. From a helpless, abandoned dog, Lucky had now become a part of our family. No more fear, no more loneliness, only joy, warmth, and a happily wagging tail every time we reached out to pet him. A new life had begun.